Hey loves, it's me Keisha, and I am here with my all tea, all shade, love and marriage Huntsville season 4 episode 7 review. We have all been waiting for this episode. It has finally come and it did not disappoint. They did what needed to be done. I have a lot to say, a lot of footage to go over. I'm going to take my time with this review, so get you some snacks and a drink because I want to make sure that I get all of my thoughts out with this one. But before I begin, I want to congratulate T Squad member Naya on winning the $50 Amazon gift card. She answered all of the questions right on my marriage boot camp video. Today I will be doing another giveaway since I didn't do my put a ring on a review yesterday. Like all of the other reviews, I will pose the question for the giveaway at some point during this video. You have to answer the question correctly, and whoever gets it correct first in the comment section will win the gift. Okay, now let's get into tonight's episode because it was juicy. So we start off the episode with Kimmi going to Destiny's beauty supply to visit and chit chat. And Kimmi puts down her purse and asks Destiny what's going on between her and Mel. And Destiny says that Mel knows that she did not talk about her to Tisha and that basically she's lying and she's making up stories. And Kimmi said, well, Mel told me that you apologized. And if you apologize, that basically admits that you did something in the wrong. And Destiny was like, I apologize if she felt that way. That don't even make sense. It's either you apologize because you knew that you said something wrong, not because you felt like I was talking about you. It's either you were talking about her or you were not talking about her. So if you weren't talking about her, then there would be nothing to apologize for. That doesn't make sense, love. So Destiny also goes on to say that Mel told her that she shouldn't be friends with Tisha nor Martell. Kimmi was like, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't want to hear nothing about that. La 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 la. Then she says that Melody said that she didn't feel like Destiny was talking about her. It was who she was talking to. You know my feelings on this. I don't believe Destiny per se when it comes to this whole overhearing Mel talking about her. The only thing that I still have in question is what exactly did Mel hear her say? She has yet to say that. So that's the only missing piece for me in this whole puzzle that I need answers to. So Kimmi was like, I thought she and Tisha were supposed to be in a better place. Isn't it what you thought? And Destiny was like, yeah, that's what I thought. Destiny says that Mel flipped on her basically. And so Kimmi was like, look, since everybody in a bad place seemed like, except for me, let's get together and have a girls' night. And so Destiny was like, as long as I got to exit, I'll come. And I was like, this is a recipe for disaster. I already knew where this was about to go, and it was about to go the fuck down ASAP. So Marsau visits Maurice at his office, and he tells him that Martell came to him asking could they work together and could he invest in to Scholt again and buy back his shares pretty much, or just buy back into it, period. He also goes on to tell Maurice that Tisha ain't with it, because of their past with Martell and how she sold an apartment building that she's had since I think he said 2010, 2015, something like that, and bought Martell's shares of the business. So that's why she is now majority owner of Scholt. And I was like, okay, Tisha ain't as dumb as we think she is. Tisha is one of them people that I've learned is book smart, but not life smart. We know a lot of people like that. So Tisha's not dumb. She's just naive and illiterate to life and street smarts pretty much to me. So Maurice says, so if Martell did buy back into the company, whose shares would he buy into or buy? And Marsau was like, oh shit, I didn't even think about that for real. And then Maurice was like, yeah, you got to think about that one. So Maurice suggests that Martell just get his license. Like, as if he gets his license, that's showing and prove that he's taking this seriously. And that's what he needs to work on regardless, instead of trying to work up underneath other people and being lazy. So Marsau was like, him buying his way back into Scholt isn't an option right now. And I'm like, if you already knew that, sir, then why did you even lead him on to think that there was a possibility? You should have just told him that off rip. But at the end of the day, Martell was an asshole to them. So I don't even feel any qualms about him stringing Martell along, because that's what he get. So Melody goes to see her new therapist. She got rid of that Nam Yo Ho Renge Kill lady that talked about her on social media. The lady's name is Dominique, and Mel goes to see her. And Mel didn't have on any makeup in this scene, and she looked so young. Oh my God, her daughters look just like her. So Mel sits down and talks to the lady, and she says that, she has removed people that she considers energy vampires from her life. And I was like, oh, girl, you better speak a word. Yes, ma'am. I'm there with you on that one. But she goes on to say that a friend of hers, a la Kimmi, is having a gathering where she invited everybody that, she pretty much don't get along with. And she was like, the therapist was basically telling her to, just go in with a positive attitude, be calm, basically think before you speak. And Mel was like, I can start off chill and respectful, but if you become mouthy and disrespectful, the heat then turns up for me. And we saw that later on in this episode. So Dominique tells her, once again, before she goes into that environment, to make up her mind on what she's going to give these people. Like, basically saying you can have control over your attitude and your actions pretty much. And you can decide how much you're going to engage and how much you aren't. And if things go left, get up and just simply excuse yourself or remove yourself from the situation. But Mel wasn't trying to hear that. Mel was not trying to hear that. Mel came to therapy to therapize her own self, child. She was not listening to that lady. So Mel was like, I ain't taking nobody, she said, I ain't taking nobody just saying anything to me. I'm going to start firing back. Child, everybody was firing back in this episode. Everybody has some liquid courage. So Martell links up with his business partner, Fred. And they sit down and talk, and Martell admits that since his divorce, he hasn't really done much in real estate, and that's because his ass don't have no fucking license. So he can't do anything. And I really believe maybe the reason why he can't get his license is not only because he's lazy and don't want to do the work, and he probably doesn't think that he's smart enough to do it. I also think it might have something to do with the charges that was brought against him years ago when him and his family members or whoever it was stole them ATM machines or whatever. That may have something to do with it. Don't quote me. This is just what I'm thinking. But regardless of the fact, he needs to get his damn license. So Fred mentions him getting his license, and Martell gonna say, Mel pushed me to get my license too, but that's why I'm here with you. I was thinking there ain't no reason to get my license. Once again, your stupid ass ain't learned shit. This was a learning opportunity for you, where God was showing your dumb ass that you was sitting over here dependent on and reliant on Melody. You treated her like shit, and you talked all that shit like you was the head honcho, CEO, Kung Fu Panda of y'all whole Holton Ho business, when you knew you didn't have the keys to the motherfucking kingdom. She held the king to the kingdom, and that's why she still got everything, and you sitting over there eating ramen noodles with your tight clothes on, can't breathe. And now, instead of saying, okay, I learned from my lesson, I'm not going to rely on somebody else because I see that, things can go awry, let me make sure I got my X's and O's together, he once again is trying to rely on other people so he can have income instead of taking things into his own hands. And I think this plays into his intelligence. I think that Martell is a go-getter. I think that he's more bronze, though, than brains. You know what I'm saying? And that was revealed when he even said out his own mouth that, he tried to take the test, he failed, Mel did it in one swipe and got it done. I don't think that he was a very smart student, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if he's not comfortable, how about you get a tutor? Show and prove to yourself and to your children that you don't give up. You keep on trying. But he's too lazy to do what he needs to do for himself. And like the man Fred said, okay, well, what if we fall out? He told him, so I'm gonna make sure that don't happen. We ain't gonna fall out. You don't know what the hell life is gonna bring. That man could decide he don't want to work with your ass. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to deal with you. Then what you gonna do? That's why you sitting out here like this man literally this week, you guys, on Instagram was posting for, hey, anybody want to hire me for events, for book signings? Here's my information. Like, nobody's coming to him, saying, hey, Martell, we want you for this event or that event. He out here, asking for events. And that's fucked up. And that shows you the state of his standing with not only the audience, but with people that might want to work with him. People don't want to fool with him. That says a lot. So you would think once again that he would get off his ass and do what he needs to do for himself, but that's just too much like right. So I just can't feel sorry for somebody that ain't gonna do right at the end of the day. And you got kids to take care of, sir. So then we get to the pièce de résistance. It is the Galentine's Day night that Kimmi has set up. Kimmi is there with her scarf on, trying to make sure she keep her ponytail intact. She got on her little red leather little jumpsuit, child. Can't tell her nothing. She was giving us Eddie Murphy raw realness. So Tiffany arrives first, dressed like she was going to a parent teachers conference. I just want to, like, this lady talking about she 34, 35 years old, and she dressed like she is on the Golden Girls. Like, her and her Cole's fashions ain't gonna bother me. Like, she need to spruce it the fuck up. You're supposed to be a young woman, girl. Dress like it. Stop dressing like an old ass lady. Jesus Christ. So Tiffany arrives and they talk about, keeping the girls intact and, how everybody ain't getting along. And then boom, Tisha walks in. Tisha walks in, honey, with her long ponytail, her braids in the front. She got on a little crop sweatshirt that says Team Wife and some little pleather pink pants and some J's. And I'm looking like, we ain't never seen Tisha go to no event. You know how she like to say event. Dress, in a sporty fashion. She normally come in a little tight dress, some heels or whatever, and give the girls body. She gave the girls body, but she gave the girls, I'm going to see my son play, baseball or some shit. So right then and there, I'm knowing, oh, you came here to fight, bitch. Oh, okay. And I don't understand why neither Tiffany nor Kimmi said nothing about that. Like, where you going? Like, where you going dressed like that? You know what I'm saying? They made mention, but they ain't make mention that them fighting clothes, bitch. So, Tisha makes a comment about, not being invited to Mel's party to Tiffany and her being the topic of discussion. And I was like, oh, Lil Mama came in on 10. Okay. And so Kimmi was like, we gonna talk about that. And Tisha was like, yeah, I'm ready. I got my sneakers on. And then I'm just playing. I'm just joking. No, the fuck you weren't. No, the fuck you weren't. So Kimmi was like, and tonight when we're talking, I think that it'll be best if we don't start off by saying girl or calling people girls. And Tisha was like, well, what about bitch? And I was like, oh, okay. I ain't never seen Tisha like this. But remember, Kiki told us on her live that Tisha can fight, and Tisha ain't no punk. She'll get with your ass because they've had numerous fist fights. So I was like, okay, Tisha. Tisha came in on ready, on go. I don't know who the fuck hyped her up to even get on that level because I don't think it was that deep for her to come in that way. Like, since when did this become the show where y'all gonna throw hands? Like, I thought that y'all would be a little bit better than that. I didn't really like seeing that. I don't want this show to become that. You know what I'm saying? It's enough drama on this show without getting physical. So I didn't like that she tried to even introduce that into this episode. If you that mad, shit, tell that bitch to come outside, when the cameras is down, because that's not a good look. You are a fucking mother of 3. You like, sit down somewhere. So Melody and Stormy arrive late and Kimmi feeling some type of way, of course. So when they walk in, Tisha does not acknowledge them. She got her head down looking at her phone. And Mel in her confession was like, I haven't seen her since we were on stage, but her energy is already telling me that she's on some bullshit in 2022. And she was like, she ain't even acknowledge us or speak. Well, my thing is, why would she speak to you, Mel? Like you said, she's your op, she your enemy. You don't fuck with her. So if y'all don't fuck with each other, why should she speak to you? I wouldn't even be expecting her to speak to me. So I felt like that was silly and that was petty. I wouldn't even care about whether or not she spoke to me or not. And at the end of the day, y'all didn't speak to her neither. So Kimmi then tells them that, Destiny arrives in her little freakum dress or whatever, and Mel doesn't speak to her. She don't speak to Mel. Same energy between them as it was Tisha. So Kimmi tells the ladies why they're there, because she wants to see if they can talk about, what's been going on and get back to a good place. So Kimmi was like, I want you guys to write down on this piece of paper. On one side, I want you to say, something positive about yourself, and then on the other side write a misconception of yourself that you've heard from other people. So bless her soul, on Tisha's paper she put that the misconception about her is that people think she naive. I'm like, love, that is not a misconception, that is factual. The only thing that would make that more factual is your face in a dictionary above the word naive. Like, darling, child. I know everybody at that table was like, Tisha, have several. So then Destiny says a misconception about her is that she's aggressive. And I'm like, okay, so now she getting shit started. That was a dig at Mel, because when her and Mel met up, Mel, of course, said that she was becoming aggressive, but Mel wasn't the first person on this show to call her aggressive, because Destiny is aggressive, and that's just not using trigger words. That is literally a word that fits Destiny. So Kimmi starts talking to the ladies, and then Tisha was like, fuck all this. Tisha said to Kimmi, I'm gonna pause you. And Kimmi was like, oh, okay. So Tisha, y'all, she took her hand and stroked that ponytail made out of yaki braid in her. Like that matted ass hair. But okay, girl, you should have just came with your regular hair in a ponytail, because that braid in her was not that deal. But baby, she stroked that braid in her and was like, so I heard people were looking for me, and here I go, bitch, here I go. I heard you was looking for me, bitch, here I go. And I'm looking at the TV like, who this lady? Who this lady from College Park? So Tisha was like, I'm right here, right here. I heard there were a lot of things said behind my back. I'm like, here I go, right here. Whatever y'all got to say it to my face. I heard it was a whole party. It was all about Tisha. So Mel looking at her like, what? Like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Who is this hard ass ghetto bitch in my face talking this shit and swinging her ponytail like she about that life? I guess she ain't never seen this side of Tisha. Tisha had let these hoes know y'all got her fucked to the up, and it will be up and stuck in a minute. So Mel in her confession was like, Tisha Scott, she turned real hood real quick. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where it came from neither. But I guess Tisha said, I'm tired of you hoes talking the fuck about me. Y'all gonna quit playing with me this season. So Tisha was like, I talked to Kiki. She told me she was at your party and you was trying to get her to say stuff about my husband. Mel was like, so Kiki said I kept trying to get her to say something about your husband. Tisha was like, yeah. So Mel was like, that's interesting. So she picks up her phone and she calls Kiki on speakerphone. So Mel reiterates what was said, and Tisha was like, yeah, you on speakerphone, so please be honest about what you said. And Kiki was like, I'm going to be honest. I don't know why you would expect anything different. Kiki was with the shits. She ain't had not a bit of bitch in her. So Stormy was like, she the one who stood up and had a lot to say about Tisha. And so Tisha was like, Stormy said you was the one that had a lot to say about me. Kiki was like, your name came up. I was not just sitting around talking about you. Mel was like, nobody was. So Kiki was like, I believe that Stormy was the one who brought up your name, and we all chimed in. And this is where I went back to the actual episode, which was episode 2 from this season, to see exactly who got shit started and how it all got started. So here are the clips. The whole conversation got started because Stormy and Kimmi and Kiki were in the kitchen by themselves. And Stormy brought up to Kimmi about the whole picture situation with Marsau posting the ATL Boys Trip 1 photo. Take a look.
I was like talking to her about like the post and how it seemed like you got like a lot of slack for that, and I hate that.
How do you really feel, Kimmi? Like, have you guys really, dealt with it?
The post,
yeah, full on. Oh God, why am I here?
And then in the middle of that conversation, Mel then walked into the kitchen and said this.
Yeah.
What y'all talking about?
Marsau.
You think it's true what they're saying about him right now?
About Marsau?
Mm-hmm. You think that's true? What is being said that he was doing in 2015 when he took that picture?
I don't think they went down.
The ladies then talk about the whole picture situation, and Mel basically tries to explain to Kimmi to watch her back when it comes to Marsau, because he like to act like everything is a joke, but everything is not a joke, and how people will laugh and kiki in your face like it's supposed to just be for play, but they're for real. And then Mel brings up Tisha's name. Take a look.
Yeah, sometimes when people hee hee ha ha for their heart, their real intentions. I've learned that. Because let me tell you, with Tisha, the last time we were all together, I really truly thought Tisha and I were moving to a better place, a more positive place. But when I heard her on that stage so easily start making faces while Destiny and I are discussing our issue, and then for her to say, this girl tried to destroy my marriage, I was like, she's still on that bullshit.
So this is my issue. I wish that Mel would have just told Tisha, we were talking about Marsau first, and then I brought your name up when I discussed with them how I didn't like when you did X, Y, and Z at the reunion. I don't know why she just didn't fess up and say, yeah, I brought your name up, and so what? Like, what you gonna do about it, pretty much? Or just tell her what was actually said so they then could deal with whatever issues that Mel had. I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that Mel didn't fess up that she was the one who brought up Tisha's name. I don't understand why she didn't. That was odd to me. I don't personally think that Mel is scared of Tisha or anything like that. It was weird to me how everybody was sitting up there like, who said that? Who did what? Huh? Everybody was playing Clueless, a game of Clue, when it was obvious that Mel was the one that brought up her name. And she should have just said that. She should have just said it. And the conversation should have just went from there. So that was bogus to me. That was whack. I didn't even understand why she just didn't fess up that she was the one that brought up the girl's name. So Tisha then said, Stormy said you brought my name up and you saying it was Stormy. Kiki was like, I don't know exactly who it was. Now, one thing I can say is Kiki didn't actually do anything. Kiki, like I said, the only thing I felt that Kiki did wrong in that scene was when Mel asked her the question about had she and Tisha ever discussed anything about infidelity in her marriage, and she responded, yeah, we've had those conversations in the past. I felt like she should have just said, that ain't none of my business. That's my cousin. That I ain't got nothing to do with that. In that instance, she was wrong. But was she the one that brought up Tisha's name? Absolutely not. It was Mel. So when Kiki says, I don't know exactly who it was, Kimmi then jumps in and was like, hey, Kiki, let me help you out. You had more than what I thought was your fair share to say. And I said to you that if you felt that way, you should pick up the phone and talk to Tisha directly. We shouldn't be sitting in Melody's kitchen having this conversation. I didn't like the way Kimmi added that bit in there because, okay, even with that being true, she said it in a way that made it seem like Kiki was the one that kicked off the shit talking about Tisha. Now, do I think that what we didn't see was Kiki telling the ladies what's the beef between her and Tisha? Absolutely, that was said because Tisha says, wow. And Kiki was like, but I didn't say anything that wasn't untrue. which I feel like goes back to whatever issues that she feels like Tisha and her have. She brought them up to the ladies that day in the kitchen. But for me, it seemed like Kimmi was making it seem like Kiki was the one that brought up her name, or that she was doing too much. Well, and in a sense, Kimmi could still feel like she was doing too much by even just talking to them about the situation or whatever. But at the end of the day, Tisha felt comfortable enough to go to Mel talking about her cousin business. So it's fair game at this point. And I just felt like Kimmi should have just shut the fuck up. Kimmi be doing some little sneaky shit to me that I don't really be liking for real. So Mel then gets off the phone with Kiki and says to Tisha, majority of my party, you were not the topic of discussion. We spoke about the picture that your husband posted, and that caused a conversation about that. Nobody was caring about sitting around talking about you. Well, that's not true, because once again, Mel should have told her, we were talking about your husband in the picture that he posted, and then that led into me bringing up my issues with you at the reunion. I don't know why that wasn't said. I really want answers to that. Why didn't she just say that? Because that looks crazy to me, and it looks, what's the word? Like fake and like some scary type shit. Like, why didn't you just tell her, like, yeah, I was the one that brought up your name? Keep it a buck. I didn't like that. That was whack to me. Mind you, this whole time while Mel and Tisha are going back and forth, in this picture, you see Destiny sitting there staring at Mel from across the table with a smirk on her face. And when I was watching, I'm like, why is she sitting there looking at this girl with a smirk on her face? Like, for somebody that was supposed to be your close best friend, and you sitting there looking at them in this way, it was just weird to me, because if anything, I would have a look of hurt or either a straight up look of anger on my face. But that smirk gave me, I love seeing Mel in a hot seat and arguing with somebody. Like, look at her. She looked bad. Like, it was like she was enjoying it. And that was very odd to me. And that was a weird expression to have on your face in a situation that they were in. It was just so weird to me, bro. So Tisha then says, I heard it was a bash Tisha moment. Then Stormy jumps in. And why somebody on Twitter posted this picture and said that it looked like Stormy? Y'all are so freaking cruel. So Stormy jumps in and said, I feel like truly the only reason you was mentioned was because of your cousin. And I'm looking at Stormy like, you lying ass big lip heifer. Now, you know damn well that the situation wasn't brought up because of no damn Kiki. Like, I didn't like that. Like, don't sit up here and lie on that lady. Like, you should have just sat there and just shut the fuck up with your lip touching your nose. Like, because that was fucked up. How you tried to throw that girl under the bus when she didn't have anything to do with her name being brought up, period. It was Mel. And then all of this, the whole conversation started because of your messy ass going to Kimmi, asking Kimmi how she felt about the picture and whether or not she ever felt like Maurice cheated on her and this, that, and the third. Your ass was the one that started all of this. So Tisha was like, it's interesting that my cousin was there at all. And I was like, here we go. So Mel was like, me and Kiki don't talk on the phone every day, but we're definitely friends. I knew her before I met you. You can't have an issue. And then Tisha cuts her off and was like, no, I have an issue with you guys talking about me when I wasn't there to defend me nor my husband. And at this point, everybody is just being a hypocrite at this point, because everybody talk about everybody on this show. On and off camera, everybody talks about everybody. So all this leave my name out your mouth bullshit is exactly bullshit, because y'all get paid to talk about each other. So y'all being mad about each other, talking about each other, is some of the stupidest shit I've ever heard. So in that aspect, I feel like all of them need to shut the fuck up, because it's stupid. I know they making a television show at the end of the day, so they gotta argue about stupid shit like this. But all of y'all have talked about each other behind each other's back. Tisha has talked about Mel behind Mel's back, making jokes about her marriage and talking about her issues and this, that, and the third, and said slick shit. Kimmi even admitted at the first reunion that you talk about Mel on the phone, even though you lied and said you don't. Mel talk about you. Destiny talk about Mel. Kimmi everybody talks about everybody. So everybody just shut up. So Mel says, so then you're mad at all of us because we all talked about the picture. But Mel being flugazy at this point, because it's not about the picture, it's about the fact that you was the one that brought up Tisha's name, but you're not telling her that you brought up her name. So Tisha was like, no, you, Mel, Melody, talking about my husband. And I was like, oh, and girl, Tisha was not playing with Melody. She was not playing with her. So Mel was like, first of all, your husband name don't keep. Y'all ain't even that important to me. See, that's the childishness that I ain't here for. And I'm like, well, Mel, her name is important to you because you do bring it up on the show. I don't know about in real life, but you at least bring it up on the show. Her name is important to you just as much as your name is important to her. So Destiny then says to Kimmi, you said, where is Destiny at the little pajama party? And Kimmi was like, yeah. So Melody was like, Melody said, I'm here with all the people that I want to bring 2022 in with. So that was your statement as to why I wasn't invited. And Mel was like, yeah. So Destiny was like, your issue with me is that I was talking to her, which is your op. Mel was like, it was multiple reasons. And she has said that on multiple occasions. Tisha was like, op? What's an op? What is that? What is an op? Op? How I become her op? Child, that was the new. Who said that? So Mel was like, is this conversation about me and Destiny? If so, I'm gonna bring it back to me and Destiny. And I was like, ooh, the girls are tussling. Mind you, Destiny still sitting across the table looking at Mel with this weird ass smirk on her face like a true psycho. Destiny then asks Mel, if Tisha is her op, then why did she invite her cousin to her little pajama jam? And Mel was like, her cousin wasn't talking bad about me. So Destiny was like, but you bring her blood cousin to your house. Make it make sense, but you don't want me to be friends with her. Mel was like, I don't care about you being friends with her. Destiny was like, girl, stop, girl, stop, girl, stop, girl, stop, girl, stop. Mel was like, you were in a room next to me speaking negatively about me. Tisha was like, what did she say negatively? And Mel was like, I don't care about that. Tisha was like, no, that's not fair. And at this point, I wish that Mel would have said, okay, this is what was said X, Y, and Z, because she has still yet to say that. And I need for her to explain to us what was said outside of her hearing that she heard Tisha say, and Mel is a Scorpio. What was said negatively about her? I need answers. So, Mel was like, first of all, bitch, I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to her. And I was like, ooh, we never seen Mel get that out of character with the other girls. Normally she get out of character like that with Martell, but she has had enough of you bitches. I was shocked that she went there. So Tisha was like, bitch. And Mel was like, I did. Tisha stand up. And Tisha was like, first of all, I'm not going to be your bitch. Mel then stand up. Mel was like, you always interfering. She trying to get into a fight. And I'm glad that she peeped that, because Tisha was trying to get into a fight with her. And she should have allowed, what's her name? Mel and Destiny to have their conversation. She didn't need to butt into that. And she was interfering. And she was being messy. And she was trying to start a fight. So Kimmi tried to calm Mel down and tell her not to be calling people out their name. And Mel was like, don't bring me in situations with people I don't fool with. I hate when I'm having a conversation with Destiny, she chimes in, which is the same thing that happened on the stage. And I was like, finally, we get to the meat and potatoes of the situation. You should have said that 50 minutes ago. Like, this was the whole point of the whole conversation. This should have been said. And I agree that Tisha needs to mind her business and stop jumping in on the male hate train bandwagon or whatever when it comes to Destiny, because somebody else in the cast got an issue with her and you want to have, I guess, somebody to team up with for a change when it comes to not liking Mel. So Tisha was like, you're talking about me and I'm right here. It's not that she was talking about you. She was saying that Destiny was talking about her to you. That ain't got nothing to do with you. She never said that you said anything bad about her. She said that she heard Destiny talking badly about her. So Mel was like, me and her are trying to get to the bottom of something, so be quiet. So Tisha was like, don't tell me to be quiet. Kimmi trying to explain the situation and trying to talk and tell everybody to say what they need to say in a respectful manner. And Mel was like, well, where was the respectful manner whenever it was girl this and girl that? Why you ain't stand up then? I agree, because everybody want to get in the uproar when Mel finally do something, but everybody else can get over on being aggressive and saying little slick shit. So I felt like tonight's episode, everybody was in the wrong. Everybody. Kimmi was, except for Tiffany. I forgot Tiffany ass was even there. I forgot she was even there, child. She was basically the finger foods on the table. Everybody else in that room was wrong to me. But I'll get to the reasons why at the end of this review. So Kimmi was like, before you showed up, I said we're not going to call each other girl. So then Stormy says to Destiny, her being the op got to do with you. And Destiny was like, well, ask her. Because Stormy kept on asking Destiny, like, what is the issue with you and Mel? And Stormy was like, on a real, Mel don't have nothing negatively to say about y'all ever to me. And so Destiny said something slick under her voice, like, okay, good for you, or some shit like that. And I was like, see, that's the problem. Like, the girl trying to, build a bridge between you two. So Mel then says to Destiny, I'll give her the reasons again why I'm in a place when it comes to our friendship that we had. That upsets Destiny. She pushes back her chair like she's about to get up and leave. And Kimmi was like, it won't be like that when I'm the moderator. And Destiny was like, okay, moderator, what do you need to say? Kimmi was like, that's not progress when a person is trying to talk and you being aggressive with me and I ain't even did shit. So Destiny calms down and was like, okay, go ahead, Melody. You right. And when she said that, I didn't take it in the way of her being sarcastic, like, okay, girl, go ahead. It was literally, you're right, Kimmi. I'm wrong. Go ahead, Melody. Stormy then took it in a whole different direction and was like, I definitely wouldn't go after this. And Destiny was like, but you not Melody, so let Melody speak. And I was like, ooh, child. Everybody is fighting over females. What is going on? I love my friends, but Jesus Christ. So Stormy was like, I ain't got to be male. Don't talk to nobody like that, though. They get to arguing. And Stormy was like, good, that's what's up. And Destiny was like, that's what's up. Stormy was like, you want to be like me. I feel that. I perceive that. Child, when she said that, I hollered. So Mel sitting there like, huh? Hold up. What? Because she looking like, how you two get to arguing? Mel over there giggling because she is just shocked by what the fuck is going on. Stormy didn't say, if I was you, I would want to be like me too. And Destiny was like, yeah, you should. And Stormy was like, I ain't mad at you. And Destiny was like, you shouldn't be. So Stormy was like, she got me fucked up. And Destiny was like, you got me fucked up. So Tisha over there with her head down, laughing as well. Her and Mel over there cracking up because it's just like, how did this shit even start? And so then Stormy say, Destiny, you don't want to do that with me. And Destiny's like, you don't want to do that with me, Stormy. You don't know me. Destiny get up out her chair. Tisha holding her back. Stormy jump up out her chair and was like, you ain't got enough to come at me like that, bitch. Mel grabbing Stormy by the arm. They arguing back and forth. Destiny is being pushed to the back by Tisha and Kimmi while she telling Stormy to come on. And I'm looking like, ain't y'all tired? Because I'm too old to be arguing and fighting with a bitch. I'm gonna run out of breath, goddammit. I ain't got time to be trying to fight nobody. I'm just too tired. My bones don't move as quickly as they used to. And y'all damn near 40 years old up here on national television acting like y'all about to fight each other. If y'all don't get somewhere and sit the fuck down, like I said, I feel like everybody in that room outside of Tiffany was in the wrong. I feel like Kimmi was in the wrong in the first place for even putting all of them in the same room with her messy ass. Tisha was in the wrong because she came ready to fight and sit your old ass the fuck down. Destiny was in the wrong because Destiny is a liar and a scammer. Allegedly. Stormy in the wrong because of Stormy face. Anybody who top lip touches their nose, I don't have nothing for. Mel was in the wrong because she didn't keep it 100 and just say what it was from the jump instead of acting like she was on Blue's Clues and didn't know what the hell Tisha was talking about. Like, everybody was on 10 and everybody was in the wrong to me and everybody need to grow the fuck up, but they're on a reality show where they have to come to work and argue with one another. And that is what this show has become, and it's just a mess. But overall, as far as them getting the job done, they did what needed to be done, and I was here for it, here for every last second of it, because it was funny as hell and it was messy as hell. Now let's get to my 50K subscriber giveaway. Tonight's question is a Love and Marriage Huntsville question. I need for you to name all of Melody and Martell's children. I need for you to name Martell's child with Ariane. I need you to name Destiny's child's name. I need for you to name Tisha and Marsau's children's names. I need for you to name Tiffany's kid name, Louis' kid's name, what's her name? Kimmi's kid name, and Maurice's kid's name. Whoever gets all of the names correctly first down in the comments section will win a $75 Amazon gift card. First person to name all of the kids on this show. Once again, name all of Melody and Martell's children's name, Martell's child's name, Kimmy's child's name, Maurice's child's name, Destiny's child's name, Tiffany's child name, Louis' child name, and Tisha and Marsau's children's name. Whoever gets it first, once again, will win a $75 Amazon gift card. This episode was fantastic. Can't wait to see the continuation on next week's episode. Let's talk down below in the comment section. Who do you feel was in the wrong? What did you think about everything that happened on tonight's episode? Let's talk. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video tomorrow. You don't want to miss out. It will be the bag giveaway. Don't miss out. Love you guys. Bye.